Harry Belafonte, today we lost such a legend. Oh my goodness. Can you just tell us about like maybe a funny moment that you guys have had, or something that we may not have known about him or been surprised about his
I mean,
personality?
Harry Belafonte was as much an activist and an intellectual as he was an entertainer, and he broke barriers and all. And I never will forget, there was a police shooting in New York,
Oh wow.
and I called him, and he was always open to me. And I'd say, Mr. B, would you come by and say some words?
Yeah.
They had killed this young man named Sean Bell, and we're going to march down Fifth Avenue. About 50,000 people, but it would really mean a lot if you came. And he says, well, I'll think about it. And then about an hour before the march, he called and says, I'm in the car on the way.
No
And
way.
he got out the car, and he came, and we was marching down Fifth Avenue, and I never will forget. I said, you don't know how honored I am, as a guy that grew up in Brooklyn, but admiring Dr. King and what you did with Dr. King, and that you'd march with us. He says, well, you should admire it because I really don't like preachers. And that was how Harry was. That's how Harry was. But he would come every time we called. And for a while, I lived across the street from him on the west side, and I'd always go and see him. And last year, he was honored by the nation of France, and they gave him an award. And they got a conference room in his building because he didn't go out much. He was on came. And he had about 20 of us come and watch him. That's the last time I saw him alive.
Wow.
And till the end, he was like always lecturing me. I watch your TV show, do this, do that. He did it a couple of times. He was a great spirit. But he was the first black to do an interracial kiss in a movie.
Wow.
The first black to win a Tony Award. So everything in motion pictures, he was the first one to cross us over. But then he was the one that organized for Dr. King's civil rights all the way to Mandela, all the way to my generation, all the way to the young people behind me. I mean, he broke so many barriers. It will take 96 years to tell the story.